started so we can get out here on time. First of all, I just want to thank everybody for coming. We had a good turnout today. Thank you for people taking time out of their day. We know how busy you all are. So give us an hour and a half of your time means a lot to us, and I appreciate it. We have some new faces here. I'd like to introduce some new people here. If you are new, please stand up. First, Steph and Jeremy. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from, how long you've been doing this, and, you know. Steph, come on, you're the leader of the team.
I'm Steph Anania. From Des Moines. We came from Remax Precision. Sorry, I just took this swallow. And I've been doing this for 3.5 years. I want to say, yeah, 3.5 years. So.
I'm Nicole. I'm her assistant, and I've been licensed for almost 2 years.
I've been with me since 6 months in, I want to say. Long time.
I'm Jeremy Anania. Just remember, I think I'm funny, so if I ever talked to you guys in the past and offended you, just think I probably thought I was funny at the time. I've been an appraiser for 17, 18 years, so if you guys ever have questions, call me. On value side of things, I help realtors out all over the Des Moines area whenever they have questions, but I've been a realtor for about 4 years now, and also besides being an appraiser, but outside of that, yeah. Just happy to be with you guys.
You know, I will say Jeremy was nice enough to put together a valuation sheet of things that, you know, affect value and some prices and that. I know that's always a struggle for us. We're going to share that with everybody. It's actually really detailed, and I think it's time to tell him I appreciate you doing that for all of us. That means a lot to us. So now there's a person to the right of you that's not standing up, Cindy Carlson. She's not new, but she's. Oh, you were. Okay, well, I'm sorry, I wasn't. Well, I just want to say I started as an 18-year-old kid with Cindy, and you know, or 19-year-old maybe right in there. And, you know, she was an inspiration for me because, you know, then she comes back in the real estate market and probably outsold me like her first 2 weeks in the market. More houses than I sold in like 4 months. So she still has it. She still has it. Back there, May.
I'm May. I'm assistant for Lindsay Aaron. I just started last week, so I'm still learning everything I can about the real estate business.
All right, go this way.
My name's Brianna Barber, and I just moved here from Minneapolis. And I'm not quite licensed yet. I'm waiting on my background check.
Keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah. I'm coming from an airline career. So I was with Delta Airlines for 20 years. So, career change.
Yeah, you have about 4 months to get some ins on some flights with her. 4 or 5 months? Yeah. So, all right, move out here to the front, Holly.
My name's Holly Gar. I'm maybe it's something till I've flashed out my day-to-day that I'm excited about. I've been licensed since March and just moved over to the Stanford team. Excited to be here.
Sherry, and I'll say one thing, I've known Sherry for 15, 18 years, somewhere in there. She's coming from Caldwell Baker. I know the children, we used to play ball together too. I used to do their kids up. Pretty good at ball, you know, much younger than me. But no, Sherry's been around a long time. I'm happy to have her. Sherry.
So I'm still kind of new, and I've been in business 15 years. This is my bud that talked me over, and she started with Caldwell, 6 years ago, so, you know, that's it.
Bill Ludwig, been without a boss for 14 years, but I'm running the business, and now she's in charge of me. Been in the business just over 2 months, so.
Thank you. Thank you guys for all coming. Do we miss anybody? And there are a couple people out here from other brokerages. Thank you for coming as well. Hope you guys get some benefit out of this. We always like to thank our sponsors, of course, Legacy Bank. Is there anybody representing them? Okay, good. You want to have anything to could say? I mean, I know there's interest rates dropping and
Well, we're talking about interest rates, and rates are still down and good, but something that I think you should be aware of is mortgage insurance rates have dropped tremendously within the last 6 months. So we're doing some things with upfront mortgage insurance that is lowering the overall payment tremendously. So it's something to look at, increases your affordability and to buy more house. All right, thanks.
All right. H, no one's mentioned
We are
that.
gonna have a new rep that will be starting soon, so
Okay.
we'll probably get the next.
Yeah, and that is, I would have put some emails on that, and we have put emails out. I know you guys get emails just from water, you guys don't always pick them up. But there is a new rep for HMS, you get that email. Andrew took another position. She will be here, probably next month, to introduce herself and things like that. So if you have some issues, let us know so we can get you in contact with that new rep, all right? Not on the agenda, but I want to point out, Stephanie, here at Chiefs with Max Insurance. And all you guys know, if you just make those introductions, there is an insurance form, there is some for you on your agent bill and things like that. Me personally, she's able to save me $830 a year on my insurance, my homeowners and auto wrapped up together. So I was pleasantly surprised and happy with that. She does a great job. She's a personal friend of mine, and I know she's going to be great in the role. She has a lot of different insurance options, but home, auto has been kind of the forte for us in reaching your clients in that way. And remember, it's just a quote. When they sign the form, they get 4 or 5 quotes. They can use that to compete against their friend who they have or their existing insurance. It's not bad idea to get quotes to make sure they're getting the best deal out there, okay? Anybody from the real estate or Jamie wants to say anything?
Just a reminder that we're here to do any cash contract, mortgage closing. You as the agents can direct those to us. You just mark yes that you want us to close them on the sales worksheet, and we'll take it from there. Especially, I know that out-of-state lenders can be real challenging, so we'll kind of hold their hands with that.
Yeah, if you guys can, you'd be surprised how much control you have with the lender in saying this is where I want this closed. And obviously, from a company standpoint, it benefits the company. But from an agent standpoint, they will do things to make sure they'll move mountains for you guys. And sometimes in those situations, that's what you need. And so, it's going to work for you and your buyer exclusively. It's not something pushing cattle through. So keep that in mind, okay? Maria, Concepts Cares update. Anything you want to say?
Thank you to all of you who did donate school supplies. We will be distributing those here in the next week or so, and then we are headed into our what I call season of giving. So be prepared to see lots of stuff about Concepts Cares in the next couple of months. We have our clothing drive, so as you're pulling out coats this fall, as the temperatures supposedly will get cooler. If there's stuff that doesn't fit or you no longer like it, set it aside because we'll take those. We distribute those amongst the homeless and the shelter here in Des Moines. And then our Thanksgiving basket food drive we'll be doing. And then, of course, we'll do Christmas for the kids, I guess, in December. So lots of stuff. I know you'll probably get tired of hearing me, but really appreciate your support. We couldn't do these things in the community without you. So thank you.
There's a lot of fun to get involved this time of year. Like she mentioned, the coat drive, but we also, the Thanksgiving baskets are a lot of fun.
Oh, and we'll also be doing a blood drive November 14th. So if any of you are on a regular schedule for donation and you want to hold off and participate in ours, that'll be November 14th in the afternoon.
It's a great way to give back to your communities and show that you're giving back to communities that you work and you serve. I also, we get so busy, don't become spiritually bankrupt. Make sure you're giving back to the community that gives so much to us. And it's a great time of year to do that. Working with the Yes Shelter and things like that to make sure orphan kids or kids that fall on hard times have a Christmas. It's one of the best things we do. And we don't just, it's not just a stocking. We give them Christmas. You'd be proud to give your own children either. So it really is awesome. Before I move on, I just want to talk to you about the market, kind of what's going on, the numbers and everything. It's exciting times. And I know a lot of things right now. I think even from a personal standpoint, we're over 4,000 listings for the first time, probably 6 years, 7 years. okay? And that's a different market. Some other things that were really eye-opening. 20% of your sales as a whole came back on the market. That's 20% of our sales became bonds. And as the industry leaders in production, and that's what you all are, we have to do a better job setting the table on both sides. You're going in on a listing presentation, don't just go through glossy eyed like a buyer does. You gotta look and see, is this home gonna meet FHA median standards? What problems could possibly come down the line? Is it a federal Pacific box? If it is, we need to address these things up front, right? Does that make sense? That way we can keep these deals together. And as a buyer's agent, no houses. Right? It's not your job to be an inspector, but it is your job to know houses. And if you don't know them, come with me and I'll teach you more than you ever hope to ever learn about them. So when you walk through them, you should be pointing out stuff. That way when the inspection comes, not everything's a complete revelation. Like, oh my God, these windows are rotten. Like, you didn't know that? You didn't see the rotten siding, you didn't see the roof was burning, you didn't see the furnace was 35 years old. That's your fault. You should know these things. And if you point out these things, the buyer still buys the house, they go in it with eyes wide open. You're more likely to keep your deals together. Right? I mean, you're not going to test every outlet, you're not going to get up in the attic, you're not going to open up every window. There's still going to be some revelation, but not everything. And I also tell you something else, this will separate you from other agents, especially if you're meeting a cold person on a lead or something, and you're pointing out these things. Well, I mean, couldn't tell you how many times I'm on an appointment and the other person goes, wow, I was just with another agent, they didn't know who it was. Well, go mine now. You know, I mean, so I'd be happy to teach you these things, teach you every single one, whether it's one-on-one or a group, but 20% bonds, man, that seems awful high. That seems awful high. It's not the first time in the last 30 days we have more listings come on independent in 6 years or something like that. So things are changing. Things are changing. We've got to be better. Now, if you find yourself in a little bit of a lull, you find yourself not listing many homes, you're not working with a lot of buyers, I see that as a great opportunity. I see the great opportunity to get better at what you're doing already. Tighten up your sphere. Tighten up your budget. Right? Or, as Lance would say, sharpen the saw. This is a great time to do that. Or start thinking where you're going to be next year, 2020, 2021, 2000. What are your goals? Short term, long term. How are we going to get you there? You know, how are you going to get yourself there? Networking events that you want to plan. Get yourself in front of people. This is a high contact business. This is the time to have coffee with people. It's time to have lunch with people, with cocktails with people. And not only your A clients, but pick 20 people out of your B's and C's that you really wish were A clients, and go make a connection, go get face to face. You know, phone calls are great, letters are great, automatic net newsletters are great. Nothing beats face to face. Nothing ever will. That's why when they say all this keep buying and keep selling, and it may have any impact on our market, but nothing's going to beat the relationships you have. Ever. Okay? Does that make sense? As far as that goes, as far as market update, I think that's just kind of eye-opening of how many homes are on the market. That's over 6 months of inventory. We've been in a really low inventory market. The interest rates have fallen. They project they're going to fall even more. So you like to be able to get somebody for a point half under 3%, you'll buy down the rate. So give the phone call. We've sold homes that have been in it long enough, 2012, 2011, 2010. They don't have these rates. How many people missed out on that waiting, thinking they were going to be forever low. Last year they're 4.6%. And now here they are dropping. Okay? Everything you need to do to get the business right here. Just don't be afraid to have personal conversations. Don't be afraid of listening. All right? That's all I have.
Hey. Am I up? Give it up for Matt. Doesn't he look like fall? He's like Abercrombie and Fitch boy over here. Is that what you used to wear to Dowling too? Oh, yeah, wear pants. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't go to Dowling. So, yeah. Awesome. Well, guys, I am excited to present when we are coming up with September's agenda, we were thinking about what do our agents need to hear? What do we want to hear? What do we want to talk about? And throughout the year, we talk about different marketing ideas, systems, technology. There's so many things that we train on, whether it's a class with Michelle, class with myself, one-on-one. So there's just so many things that we always try to teach you that are new. But then also there's a lot of things that we just really need to remind ourselves and remind you all about. And so this is actually a presentation that I did a few years ago, Maximize Your Production. It was in October of 2016 or 17. Does anyone, I know I was watching back the video, I think Shannon was there, Jason was there, so I don't want to spill the beans. I don't want you guys to feel like you're watching this movie again, but you kind of are watching this movie again. But I promise that we're going to have a lot of fun. That's my number one goal, is we're going to have fun. If I need some comedic funniness, I'm looking at Cameron, looking at Chris. Now I got to look at Jeremy too. So definitely interject. I want this to be very interactive. I want to kind of lead by example with the things that I'm doing in my own world, in my own life, personally and professionally, that I do to help maximize my productivity and then master myself from a time and an energy standpoint. Does that kind of make sense? And what better time now with how many of us in this room have kids that just went back to school? Don't you feel like a new person? It's like awesome. Up at 6. I have 4 kids. 2 kids are on the bus by 7:05, and the other 2 are on the bus by 8:15. And Joanne are like, holy cow, look at all this time we have. Up until 3 o'clock, right? 4 o'clock. So we have just only a small amount of time to really be productive while these kids are at school. And so that's what we want to talk about today. So it's, back to school. We're going to go back to business. We're going to focus on productivity. We're going to focus on our fundamentals and just have fun. But I definitely, if you guys see me like kind of, my brain looks empty, just someone crack a joke. Is that okay? Bill's good too. Bill, I should look at Bill. He's a funny guy. Sometimes Bill's jokes are a little too funny though, right, Sue? So, all right. So today what we're going to talk about is I've got a bunch of steps. So we're going to talk about time value. We're going to talk about how to focus, how to avoid and eliminate distractions, addictions, how being busy is not the best thing ever, why multitasking is also not the best thing ever, how to tell people no when you automatically say yes, how to lead and delegate, maximizing your days, your weeks, and all kinds of fun things. So the first thing I want you guys to do, though, this is very important because I heard this a couple times. Please silence your phones. Would that be okay, everybody? Please, I want you guys to be here. I promise the outside world can wait. Hopefully no one has anything catastrophic happen over the next 40 minutes of me talking. And then also, now is a great time to listen and absorb and take things in. But what I found in our years of training, I think I've been mentoring and training now for about 9 years, is we're great at getting excited about what we learn brand new, but we're not so great at following up with information that we just learned and rereading it and then taking it to heart and implementing it in our daily lives. So these handouts, in my opinion, not trying to be boastful because I typed them up and had Kendra help me print them, but these printouts are, thank you Kendra, these printouts are very, very, very valuable. So I'd say keep these, in your planner, at your desk, post them up, take notes, just something really good to reflect on. I did this presentation a few years ago, and from time to time I'll look back at my notes, and especially if I feel like I'm in a funk, but this handout really I think can be a lifesaver, both professionally and personally. So a few questions I want to ask you guys all, and you guys can raise your hands or just ask yourselves, who in here feels that you can be more productive, focused, and active? Almost everybody. How about who in this room feels that there's not just enough time in the day to do the things that you need to get done? Need more time? Who in here sometimes feels doubtful, fearful, nervous, defeated, day to day, week to week, year to year? I'll admit. But who in here is willing to learn? That's the humor I need. Jeremy said, no, not me. Willing to grow. Willing to invest the time and energy into yourself. That's awesome. And step one, before the real step one, is you guys just showing up and being here. I'm real excited. I put that post out. We sent some reminders, this and that. So I'm going to segue, but I'm super excited that you guys have all chosen to spend your 9 o'clock on a Thursday morning here in this moment investing your time and your energy and your focus and what we're going to be talking about. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start with the tips on how you can maximize yourself. So step one is determining your time value. I know quite often when I meet with agents one-on-one, many of you, mastermind groups, I say there's 3 important things for all agents to monitor, or all individuals' life to monitor: time, energy, and money. And the first most important thing is time. Time is one of our most valuable resources. Once you spend time, you don't get it back. Once you waste time, you don't get it back. Once you invest it, then all of a sudden you're doing something productive with your time. So one of the things that I love to do is figure out how much your hour is worth. And a simple formula for that is taking your annual income goal, whether it's $50,000, $100,000, $250,000, and that divide that by 2,000. And how we get 2,000 is 52 weeks a year. There's, you should take 2 weeks off. That leaves us with 50 weeks, working at 40 hours a week. And so, real quick, why don't we go ahead and just do that? Take your annual income goal and divide it by 2,000. Simple math too, if anyone just wants to kind of jump right to your answer. If your goal is $100,000 a year, your hourly worth is $50. If it's $250, it's $125. So just do that, just real quick. And if you need a calculator, let me know. Anyone got one of those watch calculators? Lance was here, we'd ask him for an abacus. So that's an ageism joke. Anyone want to share what does anyone want to share if they've never done that before? Figured out what their hourly worth is? Okay. Everyone has? Awesome. Now, what I'd like you guys to do is figure out what your worth is per minute or per 5 minutes. And the reason why is now I want you guys to know that if you're going to plan on spending an hour doing something that maybe isn't vital, isn't important, is that worth your time? If your hourly worth is $500 an hour, does it make sense to spend an hour watching Martha Stewart every day? Is she still on? Anyone know? I don't know. Oh, now that's worth watching it. So is it worth your time and energy to do some of these things that we all do that we should I don't think that was worth our time. Now you can put a dollar amount to that. I know if I waste 1 minute, it costs me $8. So, okay. So that's step one, is determining your time value. Step two is control your focus. So many days, so many times, I feel like we're all like deer in a headlight, right? We just don't know what to focus on. We see a shiny, bright object, and we turn our focus and attention there. Squirrel, all of a sudden you just start chasing the squirrel, right? Just like most of us do. But by controlling your focus, that will help you determine where you need to go and what you need to do, what you need to spend your time on. So I always tell people, focus is kind of like headlights on a car. When you're driving your car at night and you're steering left, steering right, the headlights tell you the direction. They tell you the road that you need to be on. So by controlling your focus, the things that I always suggest you do is, focus on those goals that you have. And then the plans that you need to execute on those goals. And what kind of structure and systems you need to create. And managing your focus is just as important as managing your time, your energy, and your money. A lot of you guys know I love quotes, but this is a great one. Always remember your focus determines your reality, George Lucas. You'll never reach your destination if you throw stones at every dog that barks, Winston Churchill. The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus, Bruce Lee. I shouldn't say average man, I should say average person, right? So does that all kind of make sense? All right. Step number 3 is control your energy. This is one of the most important things that I ask myself every day at different times of the day. I say, this is self-talk. I say, how is your energy? On a scale of 1 to 10, how do I feel? Because we all know that some things take optimal energy. optimal focus. And if I'm feeling like a 1 or a 2 and I need to focus on a marketing plan or a market analysis or just do something that needs a lot of time and energy, maybe that's not the best time to do that. So control your energy, focus on how you feel, because if you're not a level 10 throughout the day, that's where we need to really understand our peaks and valleys of energy. Some of the things that I love to do when I am feeling low energy: deep breathing, some meditation, stretching, yoga, cat naps. Anyone take a cat nap and just feel like so fresh after that? Jenny, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else have tips on what you do to gain extra energy other than, 5-hour energy or Red Bull?
Sleep in past 9 a.m.
Sleep in past 9 a.m. Hey, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. There's sometimes you just need a sleep in. I asked Alexa the other day when we were having dinner with our kids, Alexa, how many hours does the average person need? Alexa says 8 to 9. Alexa, how many hours does the average 10, 11-year-old need? It's like 9 to 10 or 11. And so that there told me that, of course, sleep is one of the best ways to get energy, right? We need a great night of sleep. And sometimes if you wake up in the middle of the night, don't feel bad that you do sleep in. For instance, this last night, I have my twins. They're 8 years old. They still sneak into bed with me. So 1 o'clock, one twin sneaks in, wakes me up, kicks me. 4 o'clock, the other twin comes in, wakes me up. But, I still need to be up at 6 o'clock. So just monitor your energy. There's a lot to be said about just the power of meditating and doing some yoga, but really monitor that, guys. And that's the one thing. Don't try to take a super important hard task on with super low energy. It can wait.
When I wasn't just being smart, I like find the hours in the day that are good for you. I function a lot better.
Yeah.
Afternoon, I'm fine working until 8, 9 o'clock at night. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. Jason and I are very similar in that regard too. I like to work late, and sometimes if I'm really on a roll, I'm up working until 2 a.m. and then I still want to get at least my 6 hours, if not 7 hours sleep. Sometimes if I'm working in Vegas, I don't even sleep. Right, guys? Plug for R4. What's Shane say? Shane, what'd you tell Mark? Don't try to hang with you in Vegas. Work hard, play hard. All right, step 4. We'll keep rolling. Eliminate distractions. Distractions are the greatest threat to your focus. Study shows that workers check email up to 40 times an hour. Each distraction, guys, takes away 20 minutes of your time. You get that notification from a friend that such and such is happening. You get that notification that your ESPN notification that, such and such just got traded or such and such just lost. Just every time you guys get distracted when you're spending your time, your energy, and your focus on something, it takes away 20 minutes of your time. And based on your hourly and your minute worth, all of a sudden you just threw away that time. So really focus on ways that you can eliminate distractions. Now, distractions are going to happen, right? And we're not machines, we're not robots where we can just work a straight full 8 hours a day. So schedule your distractions. It's A-okay to power for 45 minutes, work hard on that one thing that you're focused on, and then take a 15-minute break. If anything, what I found and researched is the average person can spend 90 minutes on one thing before they need to take a break. After 90 minutes, your return on that time, that energy, that focus starts to diminish. So one thing I want you guys to do just real quickly, just write down 2 or 3 distractions that, whether it's Facebook, it's ESPN, some sort of just beep on your phone that just distracts you and eats away at 20 minutes of your precious time. Aki, you get me okay? Am I walking around too much? Loud and clear? Can everyone hear me okay? All right. Step 5 is eliminate bad addictions. The world is becoming more and more addictive. Addiction 1 is we want to be wanted. Addiction 2 is we have the fear of missing out. Addiction 3 is just being busy, right? So there's just so many addictions that we have. Reality TV, I think, is probably the biggest addiction that Joy has. It used to be Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and now it's Bachelor in Paradise. Anyone watch Bachelor in Paradise? Damn, this Blake guy, let me tell you, he's got like 3 or 4 different girlfriends. And you hate him. Yeah, me too. Thank you. You too. Who else hates Blake from Black? We will go there. But seriously, it is a bad addiction. What else are bad addictions throughout the day that we might have that take away our time and our energy? Going to the casino? Anyone have an addiction to go to the casino every day at like 6 o'clock on the evening, dinner time? I hope not. I don't think so. I'd see you guys if you did have that bad addiction. I'm joking. Anyone else? Bad addictions. One of the bad addictions that I always try to mentally eliminate is when you go to Google and you're like, I need to go to the Dallas County Assessor site, or I need to go to Matrix, and all of a sudden, instead of typing in that URL or popping it up, you're like, ESPN.com, Yahoo.com, USA Today. It's a bad addiction, right? And what do we just say? Every minute, every hour, you just threw away money. So avoid and resist addictions. Try to reschedule them too. So Bachelor of Paradise, we don't watch that, Mondays and Tuesdays when it's on 7 p.m. Central Time. I don't know how I know that. We watch it when we're laying in bed. It's DVR'd. It's at 9:30, and I don't even watch it with Joy. I'm listening to my audibles. I've got my laptop. I'm doing things and letting her watch it. Discipline yourself to avoid the instant gratification, so that way you can delay that. And then also turn everything off. Sometimes these addictions of constantly needing to be up to date with what Trump's doing, or the trade wars, or the CNN, it's going to happen anyways, right, guys? There's no way we can control the tariffs and the trade wars and things like that. Let it happen. It's not affecting you directly. Matt was talking earlier about interest rates going up and down. Guess what? We sell houses regardless of what the interest rate is. When I started back in 2006, rates were, high fives, low sixes. Some of the agents out here that have been in business for a very long time, 80s, 90s, we had double-digit interest rates. Houses still sell. So there's nothing the sky is not falling. Is a recession coming? Who knows? Who cares? Because we will get through those things by focusing on the things that we're talking about. Does that make sense? So real quick, less than a minute, write down some addictions that you can avoid or eliminate. That will save you time and energy and help you focus. Step 6 is stop the gossip and stay away from negative people. Keep the drama for your mama. How many times do people call you up? This happens to Joy like every other hour, I feel. Like one of her friends calls her up and says, hey, did you see such and such on Facebook is doing this and this and this? I tell her, who cares? Is that true information? Does it affect you? Does it impact your life? Someone said yes over here. Well, so we'll keep the drama for 7 p.m. or later then. But those are the things that, people do too much, is talk about other people. Eleanor Roosevelt has a great quote, great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, and maybe the weather, right? That's the one thing that I notice a lot is like when you talk to someone, like 99% of the conversation starts about weather. And I always try to turn it a different way. Small minds discuss people, right? So great minds discuss ideas. And that's the one thing that I think we all love to do is talk about ideas on how we can handle the market, how we can take advantage of opportunities to market to different segments. What systems can we implement? What ideas do we have to do greater things online, digitally, physically? Okay, make sense? Step 7 is rethink being busy. Being busy is often an excuse. Hey guys, I'm really sorry. I have slides and I've been forgetting to click on them. Is that okay? I'm just gonna put this way. Where's my handlers at? Becca? Oh, okay. I have like 37 slides, by the way, but we won't. You don't need them. You don't need them. It's a distraction. It's a distraction. We don't need them. There may be 34. I do have handlers, so if you guys know me well enough, this person here is like all over the place. If I didn't have, we're actually going to talk about that in a future step. But anyways, rethink being busy. There's so many agents that you call up, how you doing? I'm just so busy, so busy, so busy. But then when you dial into what they're doing that's making them busy, I got to go to a dentist appointment. I got to get my hair done. I got to go get my nails done. It's 9 o'clock on a Monday, and you are being busy doing those things that don't even matter to your business. You know, other things that agents are thinking that they're being busy doing is, you know, I need to check out, you know, the hot new listings. Now, that's good. Don't get me wrong. That's good. But when you're at your peak, prime, energetic level, figure out what you should be doing. But being busy, a lot of times people think they're doing work, and balance that out. There was a good one that I was going to... Oh, these two I wanted to read. Being busy allows us to avoid what we fear. There's sometimes like we don't want to have that conversation with that client, that buyer. Sorry, your inspection came back and this is some bad news, so you avoid it and you're busy doing other things, or you have to have that tough call or that tough conversation with your sellers, or you have to make that tough call to Shane, Matt, or Lance because this deal is going sideways and you forgot to do this or do that. So at times you're being busy to avoid the things that are really important that you need to handle. Being busy also makes us be out of control. So just think about the things that you think make you busy, like getting your car washed Monday at 9 o'clock, getting it detailed, all these things, and try to figure out, is that the best use of your time for Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Make sense? Step 8, stop multitasking. We're all great at multitasking, right? You know, show a house, open a lockbox, grab the flyer. You're doing like 10 things while you're in this house with the client, right? Or you're at your office and you got the matrix up and you're on the assessor's page doing something else. You're on Facebook, you know, writing a post or checking this or checking that out, watching training. You cannot do 2 cognitive functions at the same time. You just can't, you know. There's definitely times where I'm having a conversation on the phone, Bluetooth in my car, and I miss an exit just because I should be focused on driving and focused on... Joe's like, yeah, that happens, right? That happened this morning? Yeah, happened to me this morning. And I come here every month. I'm like, oh, shoot, I should have turned left and ended up going around. Cost me 2 minutes. So you can't do 2 cognitive things at the same time. This leads to impaired short-term memory. You're multitasking, and then you forgot what you did on this other project because you're so busy focusing on something else. It also gives you less concentration on those things, which also leads you to ADD, whether you're clinically described with ADD or you're not. I mean, a lot of times multitasking leads to you just not having that focus that you need to have. So what I would say is some action steps is to focus on that one thing at a time. You got to clear your mind. Set everything else aside. Compartmentalize, that's a hard word for me to say, compartmentalize things into different files or different folders and just focus on the things that you need to do. If you have a really, really, really big, complex project, break that down. So that way, you know, you have it broken down in simple steps. Step 1 is to do this. Once you do step 1, step 2 is to do this. Sometimes when we're trying to figure out how to build a custom home, we just don't go from A to Z. We got to figure out what are the steps. We need to set up a meeting to discuss the plans. We need to set up a meeting to discuss the site and the lot needs. We need to set up a meeting to go over selections. We need to set up a meeting to discuss next steps of starts and things like that. So break down big projects into individual steps, and that's going to also help you stop multitasking. One of the coolest things about being focused on one thing, too, I don't know if you guys get this feel, but when you focus on one thing and you get on a roll, don't you guys just feel like you're just compounding your time and energy? You're in that zone. You're in that flow state. Does anyone ever feel that? That's better than meth, I think. I've never done meth. Oh, no, you don't know about that? Hey, I do have friends that I do know that take meth, but I choose not to hang out with them. We're going to actually talk about that in a future steps in the support system. But get in that flow state, get in that zone. I promise you guys, that's one of the best highs that you guys can get, natural, free highs that you can get. Make sense, everybody? How we doing? We doing good? Becca, how we doing on time? Cooking? We're more than halfway through. Lost track of where I was at. Thank you, Kim. All right. Lao Tzu says the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So challenge yourself to not multitask for at least 1 week. Step 9, learn when to say no. We're real estate agents, right? We love pleasing people. We love saying yes. Can you show me this house 9 a.m. on Saturday morning? Yes. Can you do this at 12 p.m. at midnight? Yes. I mean, we love to say yes. It's like a knee-jerk automatic reaction that we have. We don't value our own time, and we let other people be in command, in demand of our own schedule. So we say yes, 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 yes. And guess who we say no to then when we say yes to everyone else? We say no to ourselves on the things that are priority, the things that we should be spending our time and energy money. We say no to our family members, our spouses, our kids, our parents, when we just say yes, 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 yes to everything. So one of the biggest things that you guys can do to help strategically, methodically best utilize your time is learn when you should say no. Warren Buffett says every 100 opportunities, great opportunities that come to his desk, he says no 99 times. He only picks one thing. If you have a problem saying no, which a lot of us as agents, people pleasers do, really what you need to do is you have to have something better to say yes to. You know, someone says, can I do this or do that? Will you show me houses Friday at 5 p.m.? You know, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I'd love to do that, but I've already committed to going to a family function, going to a birthday party, taking my family out to the movies. And guess what? People understand that. They get that. The true nice, quote, emphasis on nice clients, they'll get that right. And if they don't get it, then, you know, they may not be the best clients for you to have. If you have a problem saying no to people, around when we were introducing people in the room, who all here has assistants? Have them say no for you. Let me double check with my assistant on my calendar. You know, for me, my wife is the biggest out for me. I'll say, you know, I think I can, but let me double check with my wife. Sometimes things aren't always on my calendar, and then I'll get back to you. Because, you know, our knee-jerk reaction is to say yes. Like I almost had to commit to a super late appointment myself. I said, wait, hold on, sorry, let me double check. I'm not sure if my wife is going to have all the kids or not. Let me double check. And then I calm down. I'm like, I don't want to meet on a Thursday at 7:30 at night. I got The Bachelor to watch. So how else to say no when you don't want to say hell yeah, right? I mean, if you just in your gut, you're not excited, you're just going to show up, you're just going to go the motions, say no, right? Which leads us to actually, before I go that though, as a action item, I want you all to look at your calendars today, tomorrow, next week, the rest of the year, whatever, and just look at the things that you should say no to that are on your calendars, okay? And then step 10 is learn when to say yes. So when it's hard to tell people no, say yes to something bigger. Would you like to go to this golf outing with us? Where it's best man, 4-shot. And you know what? I would love to go, but my time and energy, my focus needs to be somewhere else. So I have something more important to be at. I have to be meeting. I'm meeting with agents. I'm meeting with networking groups, things like that. So once you know how to say no and learn how to say yes to something bigger, I think that's one of those things that you're going to all of a sudden find that you just found an hour a day, 5 hours a week to spend on things that are vitally important, which is step 11. When people are sick or in an accident, the first thing EMT, a nurse, a doctor will do is they'll check your vitals, right? They'll check your heart rate, they'll check your blood pressure, they'll check your oxygen levels, they'll check all these things that are vital for that person to live. And so the thing that I want you guys all to do is take an inventory of all the activity items that you need to do and what is vital. We talk about vital priorities all the time in Kickstart and Momentum, right, Michelle, right, Becca? And those are the things that we do that will bring us income, will bring us cash flow into our business. So focus on those vital priorities. Write those down. Those are the things that every single day you need those things, just like you need air, just like you need food, just like you need water to live and survive. Is it prospecting 2 hours a day? Is it following up with past clients? 2 hours a day? Is it following up with your sphere of influence, your database, open house leads? Is it reaching out? If you're light on listings, we had a really great mastermind with a bunch of Ames agents yesterday. And one agent had 2 listings, the other agent had 12 listings. So we started talking about vital activity items to help them generate more listings, because that was very short of where their listing inventory goal is. So those are the things that, when you break down what is vital, what do I need to do to stay in business? Being a real estate agent, being self-employed, we all have these windows, right? And sometimes these windows are wide open because business is good. We've got 4 listings, we've got 4 pendings, we've got 4 buyers we're working with, we've got 4 sellers we're working with. Then as that starts to dwindle down, our window is going to start to close. We can't control when someone's going to want to write and when someone's going to want to list with us, but what we can control is what our vital activities are and what we should be doing on a daily, weekly basis. Does that make sense? Oh, some of the examples that I'll share with you guys too, the things that were very vital. I love this one. Steve Jobs, he spends 3 hours a day focused on whatever was his number one priority. Relentlessly focused too. I don't know if you guys ever watched his movies or documentaries or read his book. This guy was obsessively relentless. And so in 2001, his relentless focus, vital priority, was the iPod. Took off. Helped solidify Apple as one of the top tech companies. 2007, iPhones. A lot of you guys, probably 50% of you in here have iPhones, right? That was his sole focus in 2007. 2009, iPads. 2010, retail stores. Just imagine if Apple didn't have Steve Jobs, that didn't do all these steps, didn't have these as vital priorities. Where would they be as a company? Would they be back in the late 80s, 90s when he wasn't involved in the company? Would they even exist anymore? Probably not, right? They'd probably be, a Kodak or a Sears. But as an action item, we don't need to do this right now, but later on, definitely write down the vital things that you guys need to do from a priority standpoint. What time is it? How are we doing, Becca? Good? Okay, we got 6 more. Step 12 is to lead, leverage, and delegate. A lot of times people don't want to delegate because they don't feel like anyone else can do it. They feel like they're the only ones that know how to fill out dot loop forms, and you're the only one that knows how to turn in a listing agreement, and you're the only one that knows this. You just want to do it all. We want to control everything, right? But you should definitely delegate if you're too busy. If you don't have enough time and energy in the day, but from a money, cash flow standpoint, you have the means to invest in somebody that's lower than what your hourly worth is, do that. And I'm not saying that you need to hire a full-time assistant. You could do part-time. You can outsource. I have a few different companies. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but one of my companies is called the Referral Squirrel. And I touch that company like 1 hour a month. I have 2 gals in the Philippines, Mishi and Ala, that run and operate that company for me at a very, very favorable rate to Referral Squirrel, right? And so figure out how you can lead, delegate, and delete the things that you don't need to do. One of the things that I always tell people too with leverage, that's my favorite word in business. Do more with less. So what are some of the things that you can do to leverage yourself and your business? I say this to clients when they come and meet with us to build homes. My whole value in you meeting with us is I can help create the dream, the picture, the vision of what your home is, but these hands will not touch a hammer. These hands will not touch any tools. If anything, these fingers will point and direct. So figure out some of the things that you can lead and delegate and leverage. Does that make sense? And above and beyond that, sometimes you don't even need to pay people to delegate or leverage. Sometimes you have them right in your house, if it's a spouse. If you have a husband, ladies, you should not be taking out the garbage, right? You should not be... Let's go, Steph. We're on a roll. If you have a husband in this room, you should not be doing the laundry. You should not be mowing the yard. You should not be taking out the trash. You should not be massaging your own footsies. What else, Steph?
2019 is those rules
Sorry. Sorry, Steph. Jason said something. He said that I'm like HR guidelines, the Me Too Act, so I got to Step back. But if you have kids, like my kids are getting to that age where they are taking out the trash, they're loading the dishwasher, they're unloading the dishwasher, they're doing laundry. So back to the vital priorities, what are not vital, or what can you put on other people? And step one is, what can you get other people to do that's free? If you got a parent and you need help watching your kids, hey mom, hey dad, can you come over and watch the kids? They'd love to. That's part of their job, right? That's their job description as a grandparent. Yes, well, that is a true story. Jack he loves to come over, and it's a blast. It's a blast. I haven't mowed my lawn in like 10 years. I know I can pay my neighbor's company, it used to be $40, now he charges me $80 to mow my lawn. But it saves me 2 hours every other week, pretty much. And based on my hourly worth, I'm way ahead, right? So figure out the things that you can do to lead and leverage and delegate. Does it make sense? We don't have to do it now, but if you have some things that are on the top of your mind that you can write down that you need to delegate and have someone else do, please do that. I need a drink.
Don't your kids mow like mine?
Not yet.
That'll save you a lot of money.
My kids would mow, but we sold our lawnmower when I stopped mowing like 10 years ago, so I would need to buy a lawnmower. So, all right, guys. We doing good? Step 13 is maximize your days. Never start your day with an empty calendar. Collaborate by reviewing your business plans and your goals. That's actually one of my favorite things to do. If you're ever feeling down and bummed, look at your goals. Look at your vision board. Get excited about why you are doing what you're doing. And that doesn't pump you up, you need to call me, Lance, Matt, or Shane, because we're going to add to those goals. We're going to help you create these bigger visions of who you want to become, the experiences that you want to have in life, your income. Is that enough for what you want to do that makes you want to wake up every day and put your pants on and go to work? If it isn't, then we need to talk, right? So when I review my goals, I always look at things from a daily, weekly, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year standpoint. Also, I love to limit my time and maximize my days by focusing on things that I shouldn't be spending too much mental energy on, right? I don't know if you guys, maybe Matt was like this when he was picking out his outfit this morning. He was in his closet. He was like, him and Han for like 30 minutes. Should I wear this plaid shirt or this striped shirt or this Argyle shirt or this? I don't even know. Jason's my style, my fashionista. But sometimes people spend so much time, my wife is one of them, just like figuring out what to wear. For me, it's like, hey, honey, can you pick something out for me to wear? And by the way, if you'd iron it for me, that'd be really nice. There's trade-offs, guys. Like, she doesn't do that for free. There's other things I have to do for her. So, don't tell her that. Don't tell her that. Yeah, this is being recorded. By reviewing your calendars, I don't know if you guys do this. This is one of my secrets to my productivity is I love to review my calendars the week of Sunday. What's going on? What's going to get me excited? Do I have enough meetings for leads and with agents and training and things like that? Then definitely the night before, the next day, I look at my calendar. I make sure that everything I need to have on my calendar is there. I double check the notes that are associated with all my calendar activities. And when I see gaps, guys, I look at my vital priorities. I look at my to-do list, and I put it in my calendar. I share my calendar with probably a half a dozen people in this room, and I color code things orange and gray, and so they know. The orange things are my meetings. I need to be at those meetings. The gray things, guys, are my things that I need to do. So if you need to put a meeting there, that's fine. I can just shuffle other things around. And there's sometimes at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I've got my to-do lists that maybe aren't as vital, but there's still things I need to do. And I just keeps rolling and flowing from day to day. So if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. And if you're not maximizing every hour, even like 15-minute segments, and that's the one thing I love to do too, is like, okay, I got 15 minutes to do one thing. Out of all the things that are really important for me to do, what do I need to do? Oh, I got to follow up with this seller. I got to follow up with this buyer. I got to write this off, or I got to do this, do that. So really manage your days by maximizing your times. Does that make sense? Anyone have anything to add on that? The one thing, too, is I love this bullet. Create continuum. Set materials out in advance for the next day. If you know that something's really important and you just didn't get to it that day, set that pile of paperwork. Keep those tabs open on your computer so that way when you go back to your desk, it's right there. Oh, that's what I got to do. I got to focus on this and focus on that. Another thing I love to do is bookending my day, having morning rituals, and then also having evening rituals. So I think who said something about waking up early today? I can't remember. I was talking to somebody, and it was Anthony. I'm going to out Anthony. Woke up 4 o'clock. He didn't tell me the exact time, but this guy woke up 4 o'clock, went for a jog, already had breakfast, already probably dominated his to-do list. That's his morning ritual. For me, I love to have silence in the morning, just kind of take all things in, kind of reset my brain, reset my chi or whatever that's called. I love to do that. And then the second thing I do is I love to talk through my affirmations. This is going to be a great day. These are the things I'm looking forward to. I'm giving myself a pep talk, right? And then from there, I want to visualize. I want to visualize what's going to go on through my day. How is this leadership meeting going to go? How is this mastermind meeting going to go? How is this accountability meeting going to go? And then exercise. I forgot to talk about this in the steps about creating energy, but exercising, right, guys? Those us that exercise, which I probably need to exercise more, that's one of the best things to do in your morning or even your evening routines. And then I love to read. Now, I'm not talking about reading CNN or ESPN, but reading or watching something inspirational. 3:04 a.m., I know for a fact that I'm going to get a Darren Daily that's going to be a 4-minute, well worth my time to watch. And so I watch that. If I know if I'm going to be meeting with agents and we talk about marketing and things like that, I'll read something with Tom Ferry or Buffini, go on YouTube. If I need to hear Will Smith's voice pumping me up, I'll listen to it, right? And then just kind of go from there. So create your morning routine, but then also create your evening routine. For us that don't have a wife that's as nice as mine, laying my clothes out and this and that, get your outfit ready. Double check your calendar. Create your to-do list, your things that you need to do that next day. But when you book in your days with your routines in the morning and your routines in the evening, you're going to win the days. When you win the days, you're going to win the weeks. When you win the weeks, you're going to win the months, and you're going to win the year. Does that all make sense? How are we doing on time? What time is it, Becca? 10:20. We're doing okay then. Yeah. All right. Step 14 is a continuation kind of step 13, which is maximizing your weeks. I'm big into time blocking with those agents that have met with me. I love to just time block, 9 to 11 is my lead generation time, 3 to 5 is my client appointment time, making sure that you have a locked and loaded, perfect, scheduled weekly routine of what you need to do to be productive and maximize yourself. There are things that we put on our calendars, like I said earlier, that should not be on your calendar Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. So whether it's getting your oil change, your personal appointments, schedule those on Saturday. That's your Saturday time to run errands. And one of the most important things to do when you're maximizing your weeks, guys, is scheduling your personal time. I call that our pink time. So is it a kid's sporting event? Is it dinner with your parents? Is it, going to the movies? Tuesdays, I love going to movies on Tuesdays. It's matinee, it's like 2-for-1 tickets or something like that. So putting those things in your calendar, and the next thing you know, you have like this well laid out, perfect, orchestrated week, and someone comes in and says, hey, Tracy, can I have your time Saturday morning at 9 o'clock to go look at houses? Well, actually, that's my grandkid time. So step 15, we're going to roll right into this one, is schedule disconnected days. So often, all of us work 7 days a week, right, Sue? Looking at Sue, looking at a lot of you guys. I know you're working Sundays. I know you're working Saturdays. And I get it, guys. You got to make hay while the sun shines. But you have to schedule disconnected days. And if you don't think you can take a full day, that you're just behind and you need to catch up, you need to do this and do that, schedule some disconnected hours, a half day, a morning, an afternoon. You guys need to recharge. You need to reset, right? If you're just work, the next thing you know, is that a song? Work. That's an inappropriate song for this group. I lost. Where was I going here? Disconnected days, thank you. I completely lost track of what I was talking about. Oh, you're going to get burned out. I know what we're talking about. You're going to get burned out. You're going to want to quit. You're going to say, is the juice worth the squeeze? So please schedule disconnected days. An hour, a half day, better yet, a vacation. When I said earlier we should be working 50 days or 50 weeks a year, not 52, try to take at least 1 to 2 vacations. Right, Julie? Yes. And enjoy every moment of it. And turn off your phone. Yeah. One of the coolest things is when you put your phone into airplane mode, especially those that need like that dopamine hit of checking your email and your text messages and your Facebook. Try to put your phone in airplane mode for like 30 minutes, an hour, and then you turn it on, you're going to get the best dopamine hits ever because all of a sudden you're like, holy cow, 10 texts, 15 texts, 20 emails. And then you go, brrr. So step 16 kind of is in correlation with disconnected days, rest and recovery. You accomplish more when you work less, right, guys? We need those days off. We need that family time. We need that, little kid cuddle time. High productivity does not mean nonstop productivity. Growth requires requests. Just like when you go work out, you pump some weights, you go for a run, you have to rest your body after those extreme workouts to continue to be able to grow and move on. So make sure you take breaks and don't feel guilty about it. There are definitely times where I mentally tell myself, I feel so guilty. It's Sunday, it's 1 o'clock, everyone else is at open house, and I'm laying on the couch watching football. Well, guess what? I already worked 60 hours that week, so it's A-okay for me to be lazy on the couch. Make sense? We good? Megan, you good back there? Allison? All right. So this is homework that you guys can do later, but make a list of the best ways to rest and recharge your time, and whether that's an hour, whether that's 3 hours, whether that's a half day, or whether that's a full day. Under an hour, I'll give you guys some ideas. If you've got a place that you like to go get a quick massage, do that. Under an hour or under 3 hours, if you can go to the driving range, right, Jason, and hit a few golf balls, do that. What's that? Don't play 18 holes. Yeah, if you only have 3 hours, under an hour. But figure those things out and make them fun too, because life is not worth living if you're not taking these times to really reinvest, recharge yourself. If you don't have enough time to do these things, then it's kind of a lame life, in my opinion. Step 17 is building your support system. So your support system is not just the people that you need to have in your life. You're an average of the 5 people you associate yourself with. That's one of the cool things about being within our company, our brokerage. We have average agents that are above and beyond the average nationally and both locally. So when you create your support system, you can see your future by looking at who you are associating yourself with. And I tell my kids that all the time. If you're going to hang out with a bunch of, party kids, you're going to be a party kid. If you're going to hang out with the valedictorians, the head of the class, that's, you're going to all average yourself out. So first and foremost, make sure your support system, including your spouses, including your family members, including your best friends, are the best people that you should have in your network. Also, part of your support systems is having a great place to work. Having an office, whether it's at one of our offices, whether it's a home office that is nice and neat and organized and has, whether you have 1 monitor, 2 monitors, 3 monitors, whatever you need to really have the best support system in your office, create that. And then also it's about having the best tools. The cool thing about what we're trying to do every single day is provide the best technology, the best websites, the best systems, the best everything, right? So when you create this and build what you're doing, is just kind of focus on making sure your support system is where it needs to be. Does that all make sense? So don't have to do this right now, but write down, take inventory of the things that you need to build that complete, ultimate support system. And then step 18, evaluate and enhance. A lot of times when we meet with agents, first part of the year, we talk about SWOT analysis. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are the opportunities that you have? And what are the threats that are affecting not just yourself personally, but yourself professionally? Take inventory of that. Identify those things. And the key thing with the strengths, we want to keep those things going. We want to reinvest time and energy to those things. The weaknesses, if you have weaknesses that you can delegate or delete, do that. If you have weaknesses that you can learn, study, enrich yourself on, do that. If there's opportunities in the marketplace, in your business, to really focus on, whether it was short sales back in the late 2000s, whether it's new construction now, whether it's first-time home buyers, empty nesters. Figure out what your opportunities are. And then also assess your threats. What are your threats? Is your window starting to close from a financial standpoint? Is it threats that we can't control, whether it's interest rates or inventory? How can we create ideas and solutions to counteract those threats? And then also, I'm 13 years into real estate. Enhancing myself is I am still a student in the game. I'm still bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, a sponge, trainable, coachable. I love learning things. So whether it's a Darren Hardy video, whether it's Tom Ferry, whether it's a Buffini, whatever it is, guys, one of the quotes that is from Charles Schwab is, I really think people should make their first investment in themselves. Start with yourself, because that's where you're going to have the highest return. For every dollar you invest in your personal development, it adds at least $30 to your bottom line over time, Brian Tracy. So learn more, study more. So create that one goal, the things that you want to learn about. If it's how to, Aisha and I met the other day, and we talked about how to be, how to really, magnify first-time home buyer opportunities. So that was her goal. So what are the skills that we need to do that? What are the books out there that we can read or listen to? What are the seminars that we can watch or go to? Are we spending 30 minutes a day reading about that skill? Are we spending 30 minutes a day listening to that skill? Are we able to invest 10% of our income in helping ourselves do these things? And then also, though, I've got here, are you also able to invest 10% of your income helping others? That's probably one of the best things, right, Maria, right? Concepts Cares. That's probably one of the best things that we do to enhance ourselves, is to give back to not just our friends and our family, but to our local community, to our churches, to our schools, things like that. Psychologists say we're the most happy and motivated when we see evidence of progress. So step 18 is, really the cherry on top of the cake, right? Just always constantly evaluate yourself and enhance yourself, okay? So I'd love for you guys to write down, not now, but later, some skills that you guys want to improve on. But step 19 is bring it back together. And if this here is the only thing that you read and review on a day-to-day, weekly basis, just to kind of wrap up what we're talking about, is making sure you understand what your time is worth. Focus, focus, focus. What is important that you need to focus on, and what are the things that we can avoid from distractions, eliminate addictions? Are we being busy just to be busy, just because we want to have that appearance of being busy, or are we really focusing on vital priorities? Are we multitasking too much, or what are the things that we need to spend singular focus on? How can we tell people no? What are things we need to tell people no to? What are some things that we need to create some yeses to? Vital priorities, we talked about that. What are the things? Take an inventory of all the activities that you need to do from start to finish, whether it's a buyer or a seller. What are the vital things that you as an agent needs to do? And then what are the things that you can delegate other people? And remember, guys, I think a lot of our agents, we have the best ACRs, the best TCs. We have, if you have a really tough situation and you need broker help, delegate those things to other people within our company. We've got the best of the best. You need some marketing ideas. You need some system ideas, some Instagram, social media ideas. This front table, guys, is valuable. Maximize your days and your weeks. Make sure that every single day, and I said this earlier, this is something I learned from Buffini, if you win the day, which is not necessarily being 100% optimized for that 8 to 9 hours a day you're working, but at least 6, 7, you've won the day. If you've been productive for at least 3 to 4 days out of your 5-day work week, you've won the week. If you've won at least 6 to 7 months of the year, you've won the year. You keep doing that, that's going to help you compound every day, every month, every week. Make sure you rest and recover. We talked about that. And balance and enhance yourself to help you create your new life, and then build your support system. So that's really what I got, guys. Anybody have anything to add or any questions on that at all?
Wonderful.
Thank you. I forgot to talk to you guys about. It was on my notes. If you guys don't mind kind of circling back, we talked about buyers and building houses, but on the listing side, when you guys are listing homes, Jeremy, an appraiser goes back, what, 6 months, maybe? 12 if you have to?
Yeah.
I think it's tough to do that right now. when you're listing homes. We're not the same market we were in 6 months ago, 9 months ago. And we're still trying to push the envelope on pricing. You just can't do that. That's not the kind of market we're in. So we're going to have sellers that want to, but it's up to you to talk about buyer demand. It's up to you to talk about pricing versus timing. I know for myself, I go in the old way. I can go back 24 years. I say, hey, the old way of doing things is, this is where your home should sell. We offer a little bit higher. Buyers come in lower. We meet in the middle. Everybody wins. But in the market we're in now, we really want to price competitively. We want to pay attention to more what your competition is versus maybe what's pending and what is sold. Does that make sense? And try to get your pricing to be competitive. Maybe look around, think like a buyer, and how people are going to tour 6 to 7 homes in my area, and how am I going to position myself to win? So when you guys are out sitting there promoting, I sold this home in 24 hours, or I sold this home, that's the wrong message. Because did it sell in 24 hours, or did your seller take 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks to get it positioned right, to declutter, to clean, to maybe fix a new flooring or put in new light fixtures? Because I think it's kind of an insult to a seller when you say you sold it in 24 hours and we put them through all the rigmarole of what it takes to position it to sell at that amount of time. Does that make sense? Stop sending the wrong message. When you say, I sold a home in 24 hours, me as the public says, well, maybe I don't need you. Really, what you need to say is, I got 99 or 102% of what we were asking, or something like that. Show your value. Okay? So just leave I know pricing is a big thing right now, and we all go back 6 months, we all go back 365 days, but if you really want to sell these listings, you have to pay attention to what's happening in real time. And those are the pendings, and those are what you're competing against. Okay? I want to steal just a little bit more of your time. We have a big announcement to make, and more of a celebration too.
Mine are not so much huge announcements. I'm not the special one here, but we have just a couple of date announcements I wanted to say. We have a meet and mingle coming up that we're going to do, just kind of a happy hour at Grand. We haven't had them there in a while, so we haven't. I think we're thinking the 19th, but we'll send out info on that. So just come grab a drink, have some food, and we have a lot of new agents recently, so we wanted to make sure we got everybody in front of everyone to get to meet each other. We have, next month, October, we will actually not have a breakfast because it falls the same week of the the Iowa Association of Realtors Convention. So we want to really promote that and get you guys to all go to that. It's great. I don't know how many hours exactly, but you get a ton of CE hours.
I think there's over 20 hours of CE.
Do you have that somewhere that we can click on?
It'll go out in the bi-weekly broker brief.
Yeah, we can put the link on first.
Yes.
It's right on the homepage of IAR too. And they have, just go check out the agenda at least even, just to see, there's a lot of great speakers and great topics there. So that will be October, so no breakfast then. Then the November breakfast, if you guys recall the last couple of years, that's kind of when we like to do our vision for the next year. So that will be November, and then December we'll finish out the year with our fun holiday sweater party. So that's breakfast for the rest of the year there. November 30th, we just booked our family day at the movie. So
Star Wars?
No. Let it go. We are doing Frozen 2.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Everyone's first choice. It's the best overall family movie. Ooh picked that, so.
I picked Frozen?
2?
No, I did not pick that. That's a lie. I wanted Star Wars.
It comes out like the week before, so it's kind of good timing. And we just, for those who haven't been to this before, we rent out a movie theater at Flicks. Everybody comes in. We have the whole theater to ourselves. We have like 240 seats in there, so bring your families, food, drinks, and Frozen. Yeah, cocktails.
Cocktails before, after, and during, especially for Frozen too.
Extra drink tickets for parents.
Yep.
I think that's it. We don't have a date yet for our Prairie Trail grand opening, but that will be October, November, at one of those months. We want to make sure everything is really settled in there and everything before we do a grand opening. But we'll do a really awesome grand opening. So I think that's all I have.
And then I did. Marketing's got updates, and Michelle's got some quick updates too from training.
So on each of your tables, there's a postcard there, and if you would like a copy, we have extras up here too. This is the most recent version of the monthly mailer that Creative Concepts is sending out to a lot of people who have signed up to send this to their clients, to their sphere. If this is something that you're interested in, it is something that we are actually continuing to grow, and we'd love to be able to help you out. Again, this is just the example of the September mailer, but this goes out the first week of every single month to however many names that you provide us with. The cost for these is $1.25 per piece, and that includes everything. So if this is something that you're interested in or you want more information, we do have, again, extra copies up here. You're welcome to take these with you. Or just reach out to me or Madison by email, and we'll help you out. It's just one example of the many things that Creative Concepts can help you with.
And our WhatsApp info is on the car.
And then class update. We have a bunch of classes.
Do you want to say anything about the teacher, or do you want me to?
Talking to you about school.
What do we say? 5?
Okay.
5.
There are so many great classes that we have available. How many are renewing this year? Yay! So the rest of you can still come to class. It'd be nice to get to know you more than just this month before you have to renew your license. So we actually have more than 50 classes scheduled before the end of this year. So as your business starts to wind down a little bit for the holidays, it's a really good time to, sharpen the saw. Get out there, get your education. What did you say? For every dollar you invest, or
$30 return. Yep.
You've got a $30 return on that. So what a great time to have that available. So we do have pre-licensed classes that are starting on Tuesday. So if you have an assistant or you know someone who's interested in getting their real estate license, give us a shout. Those are available Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is really different, and it's from 9 to 3. So it really helps with some of that scheduling issues that we've had for people taking classes. Becca is starting the website series September 18th. So your website, your customized personal RE/MAX website, 4 sessions for that one. Becca can help you get it like beautiful and wonderful and help you with all those details. Kickstart starts again October 1st. So whether you've taken it before or not, join us for Kickstart. You get the best of the best. All of the brokers speak during that. Some of our best agents speak at that as well. So it's a good time to learn a lot and get stuff done in your business. Law and Ethics, the next round's October 24th and 25th. I promise it doesn't suck, so please join us. The social series from marketing starts December 4th. So by social series, what I'm telling you is we have 8 different sessions broken down, everything from newsletters, Instagram, Facebook, blogging, video. There's a lot of really good stuff. So it's a series of 8. You can pop into whichever one of those are good for you, or you can pop into all of those. And then Credit Cram, please don't wait for Credit Cram, but December 9th through 13th, we are doing 36 hours of education for those of you who have not taken any of your hours and are renewing this year. I did not lose my voice last year. I'm hoping not to lose my voice this year either. So you've already got that. And then we've got mastermind and tech classes that happen all the time. So watch for those. Check the website, conceptsreschool.com. Has everything available for you.
And follow us on Instagram.
And follow us on Instagram. That too. Okay. That's what I got.
All right.
Okay, you guys thought you were done with me talking, but this next thing might be my favorite thing I say all day, if not all month. Not very often do we get to do these things, but so we have a really special announcement to make for Jerry and Sandy Toonstra. I started out as a broker back in 2011, and Jerry and Sandy were agents in our Mills office. I have loved being their broker. They did leave me, though. They went to Seth, the Urbandale office, but they made the formal announcement to us a few weeks ago, right, Jerry, Sandy, that they're going to be retiring. And so we definitely want to take this time to wish them well, to congratulate them on retirement, and I think we should just give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
We love these two. They've been just so special. We've been so proud to have them as agents in the company and brokerage. I'm the mom of the brokers, right? They call it so. But no, I want to make sure that even though you guys are retiring, their licenses will go into our referral company. You guys are still a part of the family. You're welcomed at every single function. If we can see your smiley faces at the breakfast meetings, at the movie things, we'd love to see that. Just great people. A couple things about them is they have done so much to help kids, foster kids, adopt a lot of those kids that they've fostered. And so, in honor of everything they did, we got cake, by the way, we got balloons, but I do want to make a special super announcement. Maria and I talked earlier this week, and we both had this idea, and, we don't do a lot of retirements, right? So what we said is, instead of, sorry, Jerry and Sandy, we don't have a Rolex for you, we don't have a gold ring for you, we didn't have a plaque or anything like that. But what we want to do in your honor, because we know that you guys have such big hearts for fostering kids, we want to donate to the Yes organization in your names $500. That will help kids in need. So that's what we got. Don't take pictures of me tearing up.
I just want to say that, listen to O, good things he says. In an organized manner, make sure you're filling those blank spaces with business. And someday you'll be able to retire too. Oh, and I apologize for brain teasers
Hey, they're easy. They're easy. We always figure them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. My promise watching
And we're going to be relatively seeing how you guys specifically continue to change with the business and have people talent to do this.
Well, as we always say, we want to attract the best people first. We can train people how to do business, and we can teach people how to do business, the type of people you are, so we want to attract in this company. And thank you for your loyalty all these years and doing things the right way, and just being the kind of people you have been. That's the most important thing.
Anyone want to say bye or anything to Sandy and Jerry before we have cake?
Yeah, if you didn't have breakfast, we had cake.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for coming.